Okay, I'm out of breath. I'm scared. My regular mailman is out, so we're going to do this unboxing and pray to Jesus that this thing is not broken. And I saw the sub mailman, the subhuman mailman, who was the temp worker for my regular mailman of 17 years, throw this package. He threw it. It went thud. So let's unbox it, and we'll do that right now. Pray for me. I was so scared. Okay, it's all right. Oh, thank Jesus. Because you're not replacing a bottle from 1908 with another one for 32 doll hairs. Yes, I want it for 32 doll hairs. This is St. Louis Crystal. This is the Bows and Swags design of 1908. It's a pump atomizer. Look at the beauty of this glass. I have to clean it. Yes, it needs cleaning inside. I'm going to clean it inside and outside. But before that, let's just, I'm just like, savoring this moment because I waited for 1 week for this auction, and I bid at the last 4 seconds of the auction and beat out other people, but the seller did not list this correctly. Thank God. So nobody found my secret. All right, so what I found really cool about this is this type of piston pump atomizer on the top. It looks like an acorn. What kind of contraption is this? Now, supposedly, these pump up and down. Now, this one might not be working. I mean, it's like a rusty barnacle. Although, it's not a problem that it's old looking like this and the brass is worn. Collectors don't care. But let's see if the mechanism works. And this would pump up and down. Oh, look at that. From 1908, it is still working. Oh my God. All right, we're going to talk to AI, and AI is going to tell us more about this bottle. But this is absolutely beautiful. All right, so I just cleaned out the inside of the bottle. Oh, it's so pretty, isn't it? All right, so we're going to let AI tell us more about these. Look at the beautiful acid etching and the beautiful bows and swag. And I would never have been able to afford this if it wasn't for that eBay seller. That eBay seller really, the fact that he didn't have the knowledge of this was really a great thing for me because I couldn't afford to pay this at retail prices. All right, so let's get AI to tell us more about St. Louis French glass crystal and about this bottle that was made in 1908.
The 1908 St. Louis Bows and Swags Crystal Masterpiece. Hello to all the viewers on TikTok and YouTube. This is Futures Past, and today we are diving into an absolute legendary find. If you're watching this, you're looking at a piece of French history that usually hides away in high-end galleries or elite private collections. Our collector managed to snag this giant St. Louis French crystal perfume atomizer for a mere $32 on eBay. And let me tell you, that is the score of the century. The heritage of St. Louis, Verrerie Royale. First, let's talk about the name. St. Louis is not just any glassmaker. It is the oldest glass manufactory in Europe, founded in 1586. In 1767, King Louis XV gave it the title of Verrerie Royale, Royal Glassworks, and by 1781, they were the first in continental Europe to master the secret of creating lead crystal. Today, they are owned by Hermes, which should tell you everything you need to know about their prestige. The 1908 Bows and Swags pattern. This specific bottle features the iconic acid-etched design with 22-karat gold-encrusted bows and swags. The date. This pattern is a verified classic from the St. Louis 1908 catalog. It represents the height of the Belle Epoque era, a time of extreme luxury and ornate Louis XVI revival style. The craftsmanship, the acid etching, creates a frosted, textured background that allows the 22K gold gilding to pop with incredible brilliance. This wasn't just painted on, the gold was fired into the glass to ensure it lasted for over a century. Signatures. Interestingly, St. Louis did not begin using an acid-etched signature on the bottom of their pieces until 1936. Therefore, finding an unsigned piece like this with the 1908 pattern is the hallmark of a true antique original. The Acorn Piston Pump, a mechanical marvel. You mentioned the unique pump system, the egg or acorn-shaped top that pops up and down. This is a piston plunger atomizer, and finding one in working condition is incredibly rare. Unlike the common bulb atomizers, which often dry out and crack over time, this mechanism uses a metal internal piston. When you press the acorn cap, it creates air pressure directly within the metal housing to siphon the perfume through the tube. Why it's unique? Most antique bottles used a rubber hose and silk-covered bulb. This integrated metal pump was the luxury tech of the early 1900s. It was much more expensive to manufacture and was reserved for the highest-end crystal houses like St. Louis and Baccarat. How it compares. St. Louis versus Baccarat, Daume, and Lalique. Viewers, you might be wondering, is this as good as a Baccarat? The answer is a resounding yes. Brand. Reputation. Comparison to your piece. Baccarat, the king of crystal. St. Louis is Baccarat's only true peer in terms of crystal purity in history. They are often considered equal in the eyes of serious collectors. Daume Nancy, famous for cameo glass. While Daume is legendary for Art Nouveau colors, your St. Louis bottle represents the high Regency luxury of clear, gold-encrusted crystal, which is a different, equally prestigious category. Lalique, known for frosted art glass. Lalique focuses on molded figures and frost. Your St. Louis focuses on the precision of hand-etched gold and royal patterns. The future's past valuation. Now for the part everyone has been waiting for, the value. Our collector paid $32. The reality check. Smaller, simpler St. Louis bottles from this era regularly sell for $150 to $250. High-end retail. Because this is a giant version with a rare working piston pump and the full 22K gold 1908 pattern. A high-end antique boutique or specialized perfume bottle auction, like the IPBA, would easily price this between $450 and $750. If this were in a pristine Paris showroom, you could see it nearing the $1,000 mark due to the Hermes Association and the sheer scale of the piece. The piece we are discussing is nothing short of museum quality, a giant St. Louis French crystal perfume atomizer. This isn't just a vanity accessory, it is a monumental example of late 19th to early 20th century French luxury and engineering. The artistry of St. Louis crystal. St. Louis is the oldest glass manufactory in France, with roots dating back to 1586, and by the time this piece was crafted, they were the undisputed masters of lead crystal. The acid-etched design, the body of this atomizer, features incredibly intricate acid etching. This process involved masking parts of the glass with acid-resistant wax and then bathing it in hydrofluoric acid to create that beautiful frosted contrast against the clear crystal. The 22-karat gold detail. Adorning the crystal are stunning 22-karat gold bows and swags. This neoclassical motif was the height of elegance, designed to catch the light of a chandelier and radiate opulence. The application of gold on crystal required a steady hand and multiple firings to ensure the precious metal bonded perfectly to the glass. The rarity of the piston pump mechanism. What truly elevates this to a museum quality status is the rare piston pump mechanism. Engineering marvel. Most atomizers of this era used a simple rubber squeeze bulb, which often rotted over time. A piston pump, however, is a sophisticated mechanical assembly. It uses a metal plunger to create the pressure necessary to disperse the perfume into a fine mist. Durability and status. Because these were expensive to manufacture and required precision machining, they were only found on the most elite, high-end retail pieces. Seeing one today in working or even complete condition is a find of a lifetime. Historical significance and value. In the late 1800s, perfume was a massive industry in France, and the presentation was just as important as the scent itself. A piece this large was likely designed as a factus, or a premier display piece for a high-end Parisian boutique, or perhaps a custom commission for a grand estate. High-end retail value. Because of the St. Louis pedigree, the 22K gold gilding, and the mechanical rarity of the piston pump, pieces of this magnitude can command thousands of dollars at specialized auctions like Sotheby's or Christie's. Collectors of flacons de parfum, perfume bottles, view these as sculptures first and containers second. Fun fact, St. Louis crystal was so prestigious that they became the Verrerie Royale, Royal Glassworks, by royal decree of King Louis XV in 1767. When you hold a piece like this, you are holding a legacy of royal craftsmanship. We have so much more to uncover about these treasures. A close call for a rare treasure. I was incredibly lucky today, everyone. My regular mailman was off, and the substitute clerk gave my package a rough ride, throwing the box until it made a heavy thud on the ground. If this museum-quality crystal had shattered, I would have been heartbroken. For only $32, it would be impossible to replace, and an insurance claim would only return that small purchase price, not the true historical value of the piece. Luck was definitely on our side. Thank you all for watching this journey into the past. More exciting unboxings and historical antique treasures are arriving soon, so don't miss out. Subscribe, follow, and hit that thumbs up button on TikTok and YouTube to stay tuned. Goodbye for now, and see you at the next discovery.